Ministers, Excellencies, dear colleagues and friends, thank you for having me address this year's Arctic Circle Assembly, and I am very sorry that I cannot be present in person. Since our European Union Arctic policy, when it was launched in October last year, the geopolitical situation drastically has changed and for the worst. Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine requires us to take a renewed look at Arctic cooperation and at other cooperation fora, where we used to engage with Russia, which is no longer possible right now. The EU fully concurs with the decision taken by the 7 like-minded Arctic states to pause cooperation with Russia in the Arctic Council, which is also mirrored in the Barents Sea to Arctic Council and the Northern Dimension policy framework. We need a strong Arctic cooperation among like-minded partners across all substantive fields. After Russia's invasion, there is a risk of a new, very complex Great Game, where the Arctic region will sit at the intersection of a struggle for energy resources, minerals, fish stocks, transport routes and manpower, as well as hard security challenges. This put at risk the fight against climate change and loss of biodiversity. This fight, as well as cooperation on Arctic science and research, and the cultures and livelihood of Indigenous people, this joint work, must continue. Above all, on Arctic security issues, Russia has reinforced its military assets across its Arctic regions, and Russian military exercises have intensified. Arctic states must be vigilant and respond adequately. On climate change, the biggest threat to our planet. On climate change, we must uphold multilateral cooperation. And Arctic resources, once again, energy and minerals, fisheries and tourism, certainly will play a key role. The European Union wants to see robust and inclusive economic development, benefiting those who live in Arctic regions, and wants to help that this happens in line with our climate goals and our ambitious European Union Green Deal. Allow me to conclude, I don't want to be too long. A safe and stable, sustainable and peaceful and prosperous Arctic is the global necessity. Look, safe, stable, sustainable, peaceful and prosperous. A lot of things, but all of them needed. All of them are needed because the Arctic is a global space and it needs all that. It is important not just for the Arctic itself, but for the European Union and for the entire world. The Arctic states continue to hold the primary responsibility for tackling issues with their territories, but many issues affecting the Arctic regions can only be effectively addressed through regional or multilateral cooperation. Our ambitions, the European Union ambitions for the Arctic cooperation, will be maintained, and with partners around the world and at a multilateral level, we will continue to raise Arctic matters. We'll continue addressing ecological, social, economic, and political challenges, and to support the inclusive and sustainable development of the Arctic regions, and that for the benefit of its inhabitants and for the future generations around the whole world. So thank you very much for your attention. I wish you a good assembly.